Hi. So I'm just sitting in the car, as you can see. Um, I have no idea what I want to say because I've actually got so much I want to say. Um, Life has been very interesting in the last couple of weeks. We've um, at the studio, I've been watching the numbers like do these. Um, Watching class numbers come up and down, people being sick, unwell, people just feeling tired and flat. Um, and for my own personal experience, which I've finally come through the other side of now, but for about 10 days there, I was sharing that my nervous system was like it was so elevated. And there was nothing that actually triggered it. There was nothing that brought it on. It was just really high. Like, yeah, I saw my chiropractor who does also energy healing, and I walked in with her, and she was like, "How you going?" I was like, "Good." And I thought I'm gonna like be a bit fibbery here and just like not tell her and see what she gets. And as soon as I lie down, she's like, "Your body's not telling me that." I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" Um, so interesting when my adrenals are really, 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 really high, it's really hard to crack any of my body because my body is just holding on to so much tension. And she was able to crack everything. And she's like, "This is really weird. Okay, let's keep going." Sure enough, my cortisol was up, adrenals were up, everything was up. But through all of this, um, we still couldn't figure out what was going on, like what the underlying was, like what subconsciously was going on within my body. But what I found probably the most interesting part of all of it was that throughout this whole state of nervous system elevation and adrenal like overload, I had this real sense of what I actually put it down to yesterday was safety. Usually, if my adrenals pick up or if I go out of whack, there's this loop that I end up in, and I'm seeing the patterns very regular, like not very regularly, but I'm seeing the patterns now, and I'm understanding them, and I'm being aware of them. And so there's usually this loop that will flip, and I'll just end up in this loop, and I'll feel really, really flat, unmotivated, got nothing. But that's the physical side of it. But the mental side and the emotional side, I find myself looking for dopamine hits. I find myself wanting to train a little bit more or get out my walks more. And it's actually has a bit of a counteracting effect where this time I was just like, I need to freaking rest. I just need to rest. And so, as I said, I had a day there where I thought I rested just because I sat on my laptop all day and sat on my phone doom scrolling and watching Netflix. And I was like, yep, no, this hasn't shifted it at all. And so I took that on board. And then the following week, I had a day where I actually went, nope, that's it, nothing. So, yeah, did nothing, journaled, did all the things that I know I'm supposed to do, meditated, just sat in whatever the feelings were that were moving through me. And again, there was nothing massive, like it was not huge or nothing had actually triggered it. It was just like, it's just an energy moving through. But there was still this underlying sense of calmness, which I hadn't experienced before. Like I still felt really peaceful. I still felt like fine. Listened to my body. I trained and my body literally felt like I'd been hit by a truck. So I was like, okay, like I really need to stop. And so I'm trying to still work out what the shift is, because obviously there was something that was happening deeper within. And this is what happens when we heal. Like we have all these layers that come up, and sometimes they're like really obvious and there's lessons, and it's like, yep, okay, I see what's going on here and I can understand that. Yep, okay, walking away with that information. This one's been really interesting. There's a knowing, like I've got a really peaceful, trusting, surrendering knowing that feels deeper than I've ever experienced. Um, there was a safety, again, that safety in still having my adrenals up without feeling that anxiety. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, the reflection of all that, and I shared a lot of this in the studio when I was teaching, is that probably about 95% of the people that have been in, or even more than that, actually, there was a lot. Almost every person I spoke to was going through something very similar. Like they were all just shutting off from the world, crying, having moments of just going, no, I don't want to choose myself. I don't want to choose anything. I'm tapping out from everything. And that was really cool to watch. So especially now that we're coming into this winter time of the year, and we've literally just been hit with a cold snap. So it's pretty much happened overnight. Notice where these little micro shifts start to happen within you. Watch where your mind goes in and goes, oh, no, I'll just go tomorrow. Or, no, I'm already rugged up at home. Or, no, I'm not going to do it now. Just watch your little micro patterns. Watch the micro thoughts. Watch the way you behave. Watch how easy it is for you to choose I'm not going to do this and not going to take care of myself, and I'm not going to move my body, and I don't want to meditate. And like the majority of times when we don't have those moments of choosing ourselves, when we've already committed, like we've committed ourselves to show up, when we don't show up to what we're committing for, there's actually this element of where we're letting ourselves down, because we're showing our nervous system it's easier for us to give up. It's easier for us to go, nah, do it later. Oh no, I've got to take the kids, and I've got to do this. Like all our things are there that we have to do. That's life. We're in a time in life where everything is busier than always. Like we're always wearing multiple hats and doing multiple things. But there's the element of where you get to choose yourself, because where you get to choose yourself is where that inner peace and that calm and that clarity and the awareness, and ultimately this relationship with yourself that is so much stronger than any other relationship you're ever going to have with anyone. So just be mindful. Just watch. Like I'm not sitting here and saying don't do life, because that is life. But just listen if your body needs to rest. Like, and I mean rest. And there's a difference. Like when we actually get really, really true, I'm not giving you a permission slip here to go, oh, you know what, fuck it, I'm just giving up on everything. Like really tap in, like check in when you're feeling tired. Okay, am I feeling tired? Am I feeling exhausted? Am I feeling run down? Am I feeling like I'm giving too much of myself? Do I need to do something for me to actually not make me feel tired? Like there are all the, again, layers that we have within us in every aspect of our life. So just challenge that within yourself. Like watch, be aware. Because again, the more times you don't choose yourself, the harder it becomes to choose yourself over and over and over again. Where when you become that habit and watch the patterns, and you can break the cycles and recondition and reframe your thoughts and your patterns and this way that you live your life, instead of giving so much of yourself to everybody else, and then you're just sitting there going, oh yep, okay, yep, thanks, appreciation out the door for me because I've got nothing. And we don't, like, do we really want to live life through that? Because that's not joy, that's not fulfillment, that's not purposeful, that's not, that's not giving anything to you, that's just giving everything to everybody else. So more than anything, just watch your energy. Watch when you're doing things that you really don't want to do, and you're like, oh, I'm doing everything and it's not fulfilling me. Because more than anything, we want to find those things that fulfill us. If it is the rest, take the rest. Like if it's deep rest. If it's, no, I actually need rest, but I also need to show up for myself, then do both. And again, just like, we've just got to make it happen. Just got to make it. We've just got to choose ourselves. So that is my share. Might sound like a bit of a ramble, I don't know, but I just wanted to share. So don't be afraid to choose yourself, even when you don't want to. or you're just giving too much of yourself to everybody else. But don't forget to choose you, because you are so important, and that relationship you have with yourself is the one that's going to withstand every other relationship that you have. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.